attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to this special. Every hot seat's a special one, huh? But this hot seat slash money machine Webby. So if you guys can hear me, give me a 1 in the question box, just so I know I'm not talking to myself. 1, 1, 1. All right, boom, boom, boom. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, man. We got people piling in right now, so it's going to be an awesome, awesome webinar. Can you guys see my screen also? Just give me a 2 if you can see my screen. I want to make sure I got it all. You should see like this membership site. Okay, great. All right, so I got a couple of things I'm going to talk about today, and also I don't want to forget my special guest that comes on every week, but he's still very special. Gregory Ortiz.
Hey, Joe. How's it going? Hey, everyone.
Good, good. Glad to have you, Gregory.
Happy to be here as always.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, so let's get down to business here. How many of you guys were on my webinar last week? Or let me ask you this. How many people were not on the webinar last week or did not register for my done for you outsourcing videos? Does anyone on right now on here, does anyone not have access to this website right here that I'm showing? What was that? Okay, so all these videos are going to be in OMG, so it's not like this is something you guys won't have access to. David's going to upload this to Breakthrough and Director's Cut, but in the question box you'll see a registration link. I opened up registration again. David said since he hasn't put these in the back end of Breakthrough or Director's Cut yet, to just let you guys register again, so you guys could register and you'll have instant access to this software. Let me do this. And then you guys will be able to log into this site. Let me just quit this email app because it keeps on shooting stuff on. All right. Then you guys will be able to log in, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking about this a little bit. We're going to be going over outsourcing some and building systems, how to make outsourcing videos, and everything else. And so if this interests you, stick around. Okay, we got some questions coming in that we're going to get to. So if you guys go to that registration link and you can't register or you can't log in or something else, then just let me know in the question box, and that'll be good. All right, and then I'll take a look at it. So basically, what this site is when you log in, you're going to get to the members home. There's a video here where I talk about how I put my outsourcers together. The software I use to manage projects, which is Teamworks. And then this one here, I talk about how to lay out kind of a campaign in Teamworks. And this one, I just follow up a little more to show how I integrate the videos that I make. And then right here, you guys are going to see the done for you videos that I made. Now, I'm going to repeat this. I say it in the intro videos of the site, but these are sample videos. What I do is I kind of show you how these are videos that I use, similar to these videos that I use for my outsourcers to get them to build my PBNs. This is an example if I was building out tier 2 or tier 3 PBNs. So these videos aren't for you to learn how to build PBNs. Obviously, there's training on that in OMG. Then I take you into the new software of Gregory's. That's what's the name of that software again, Gregory? Gregory, you there?
Network Crusader?
Network Crusader, that's right here, Network Crusader. So,
yeah, sorry, Joe. Network Crusader.
Yeah, Network Crusader. So that's what these videos do. They take you And it basically, my outsourcer could watch these videos, and then they could set all my PBNs up from scratch in Network Crusader. Now, if I was doing tier 1, say tier 1 PBNs, the setup would be different. The articles I use would be all unique. The images would be unique. I would still put them in Network Crusader, but I would use it a different way. But for like a tier 3 PBN, I'm not so concerned. So I have Network Crusader create the content, get the images, and everything else. All right, so let me ask you this: did anyone log into this last week or have a login to this and have questions? If you have questions on this, put it in the question box right now. So, all right, and then put in. But let's do what I want to do is I want to do a hashtag. Getting 404 error on the URL. All right, let me see. It may be because so many people are trying to get to it right now that it may be. Has anyone else been able to register?
Joe, I don't see a link in the chat box. I don't know if you put it in already, but I don't see it on my end.
It's in the question box. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, it's working for me when I put it in here. Let's see. All right,
I guess everyone else saw it.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a flood warning here on my computer. All right. So, yeah, I just put it in again. All right, I registered. It's there. Okay, so if you guys get some kind of error, it's only because so many people are trying to log in at once. All right, so let's do this. Let's do a hashtag. We'll go into OMG. We'll do OMG Way since some people, for some reason, don't have access to the regular OMG. And what I want to do is, let's just do a hashtag registration open. Just give me a hashtag registration open. And I have a story I'm going to tell you guys. It's kind of an analogy. It's an illustration, but I want to get at least 50 or 60 registration open hashtags right now, and then I'll tell you my little analogy and a little story that I got here. And it has to do a little bit with a lot of the gurus that are always popping up, guys that have been doing internet marketing for 6 months and all of a sudden they're experts, or shiny objects that we see all the time that people say I'm going to make just a ton of money at. All right, so okay, we're getting a bunch of registrations open. All right, so here's what it is. This is a real quick analogy, and then we'll get into some of the content. Let's see. All right. So you guys see my screen? This is a picture of a fisherman, and the story starts out like this. Okay, you've been wanting to go fishing, for years, since you can remember. You've been wanting to go down, say to Costa Rica or somewhere, and you want to catch this very exclusive black marlin, which is kind of hard to catch. But in order to catch this fish that you want, or the type of sport fish that you want, you need an experienced captain. So you make arrangements. You talk to this captain on the phone. You pay him money. You pay this captain 10 grand, and he says, "I'm going to take you out for 2 weeks." He goes, "No guarantees, but we're going to go look for the fish. I have the best, reputation for catching this type of black marlin." And everyone knows, he catches this. He's the guy you go to catch that black marlin. So you go down there and you talk to him. You see his boat. He's got a nice big boat. I mean, this is just a picture of a fisherman. This obviously isn't the boat I'm talking about. But think of a nice big boat, and he goes through the itinerary with you. He says, "Okay, here's what's going to happen. Is it's going to take us 2 days to get out there." He says, "We're going to be out for 2 weeks." He says, "The seas could be choppy." I says, "We can run into storms. If we run into storms, we're going to have to turn back." He says, "I don't guarantee that you're going to catch a fish." I says, "Maybe if you fish all day, all night, you might catch one. but I'm not going to guarantee, I can't guarantee anyone's going to catch a fish. He goes, I've caught more black marlins than anybody else, but you have to keep at it. We may go out for 2 weeks, come back, and then we may have to go out again. And he says, listen, that 10 grand is good. You come out with me as many times as you want. But so he gives you this whole rundown. And it sounds legitimate, but it's not sexy. It's not exciting. He's not guaranteeing you that he's going to catch these big fish. So as you're sitting on the dock, all of a sudden rolls up this nice new boat, this young captain. He's like, what are you looking for? He goes, I want to catch black marlin. And, I signed up with this guy. And he goes, oh, yeah, him. I know him. I used to work. I was a deckhand on his boat. He's a real good captain. He knows where the black marlin are. And now the name of this guy's boat is I Catch Black Marlin, right? This young guy. And he says, but look, he says, how about this? I know he's probably charging you a big amount of money. How about you cover my gas and a little bit of food, for me so I could eat for this week and next. And I'll take you out. I know a special spot. We'll get out there less than a day, maybe 2. And I bet you'll catch 2 or 3 black marlin. And you're like, wow, you for real? And he's like, yeah, just come out with me. We'll catch some, we'll do it. So you're weighing your options and you're like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I jump in this guy's boat. I come back, I can still go out with this old guy maybe, but let me jump in this guy's boat. The worst that can happen is we float around for a couple of days. I don't catch nothing, right? I'm only out a couple $100. But let me tell you, that's the best case scenario, is that you go out with this guy and you don't catch any fish. Okay. The worst thing that can happen is you go out with this guy and a storm comes in and he's so inexperienced, he doesn't know how to get back in, or the boat capsizes, or it gets washed over and you die, right? Or you're stuck out in sea or whatever. There's a lot of bad things that can happen. Well, what does this story have to do with gurus? The point is, and the fact is, for most people, when they're going out to make money online, it's a lot of times it's a one-shot endeavor. Okay, if you follow somebody who's only been doing this for 5 or 6 months and who's telling you he's going to take you to the promised land, he's going to make you more money than anybody else because he figured out this super secret method, and you follow his method for, say, 6 months and you get nowhere, okay, what happens? For a lot of people, now you've just spent a ton of time, a ton of resources, probably a ton of money, and you didn't get anywhere. And, a lot of people get burnt out and then they quit. They're like, oh, this doesn't work. And it's not that it doesn't work. It's just you just followed the wrong person because his message was sexy, right? Like this young guy's telling, yeah, I'm going to catch you the fish. That's what you want to hear. So let's go catch some fish. But see, if you're smart and sitting on that dock, you'd ask the guy, hey, how many black marlins have you caught? Well, I haven't caught any black marlin. I've caught some blue marlin, which, okay, fine, blue marlin. Or, I made 10 grand. I make 10 grand a month, right? Big deal. You make 10 grand a month. Big deal. You make 15 grand a month. I mean, look, that's great. Not saying that's nothing to shake a stick at. That's more than most people make. And that's a good amount of money. But, if you want to take your business to the next level, do you want to, and you want to make 20, 30, 40,000 a month, is the guy that makes 10 grand a month going to get you there? Or is the guy that makes 50, 60, 70,000, 100,000, 200,000 a month going to get you there? And, that's what you got to keep in mind is it's like, and it's not either the fact that the guy who's saying he's going to get you there. And I mean, he may have a plan. Maybe he's done one thing and he's made some money, and he has good intentions. But the fact is making money online. It's scalable. You can do it if you put your mind to it. You can do it, but it takes work. It takes hard work. It takes dedication, and you're going to have pitfalls. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have times you want to quit, and that's where you have to persevere. You have to keep going. So for me, I've been doing this for years. I was an OMG when it first started. If you guys go back into the Facebook group and you look and see how many times I've ever sold anything in OMG, I haven't. Okay. because I haven't. I just didn't, and it was like because I view it as a huge responsibility. Fletch views it as a huge responsibility. Cotton views it as a huge responsibility. Everybody, Gregory, he views it as a huge responsibility. Everybody knows it's a huge responsibility because if I teach you something that's not 100% going to work, or that I know that if you run into a problem that I can fix it, right? If I show you a technique and you're like, hey, it's not working for me, I could usually troubleshoot it because I've done it before. Dude, I'm not gonna teach it because I don't want to send you down that path where you're doing something for 6 months that doesn't work. So a lot of times these new guys, if you go back again in the Facebook group and look, who is saying how wonderful they're doing, 2 years ago, and you look at now who's still around, that's the telltale sign. It's not who's making money this month, next month, or 3 months ago. It's who's been making money for a year and who's been growing what they've been doing. So I don't know. That's my little.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe. I was gonna say I completely agree with you. It's all about consistency. I mean, if you take a look at even like musicians, which everyone can relate to, right? Like you can have someone that comes up and has like a one-hit wonder, and everyone will remember them for maybe that one hit or whatever, but they're not remembered long term like someone like a Michael Jackson would, or someone else that has longevity in it. So you're absolutely right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Does it resonate with anyone in here, or do you think I'm just kind of going off a little bit on the wrong? Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, or maybe I'm being too harsh or something. I only got yes. All right. Let's see. And listen, if you guys have anything about anything you want to ask me about it, or maybe you think I'm being a little unfair, just type it in here, man. Let me know. But it's the reason why I'm saying it is because I don't want you guys going off in the wrong way. Before I had OMG, I didn't have people that before OMG, I didn't have anybody to talk to, right? So I would have to get these warrior the WSOs, right? I have to get these WSOs. I'd have to get content where I can, and 95% of it was from people who weren't making money, and I went down all those paths. And so you guys paid money to get in here. If you're in Breakthrough, if you're in Director's Cut, if you're in anything, you paid money to get here, and you paid good money. So use what you have. And even though the message isn't always sexy, like you're going to make money in 30 days, right? What it is it's realistic. So that's it. That's my spiel for the day. So
Yeah, and Joe, I just want to add, obviously I agree with you, and at the same time, like a lot of people come into OMG, and I've dealt with particularly people who are brand new to OMG, and everyone wants to make money quickly, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, if you think about it, you're spending money in order to learn how to make money, and it's a natural human reaction to want to make money as quickly as possible. But at the same time, you have to be smart about it. And exactly what Joe is saying is so true. Like even from when I started about a year and almost a half ago, it was a totally different world, OMG, the way it is than what it is now. So now it's more of a thing, like Joe said, like most of us care very, very, very deeply about your guys' training. So we want to ensure you're not being, led astray, like, oh, look at this shiny object that's out now. Let me go take a look at this training when you haven't even finished the core training within OMG in the first place. Like all of us are as successful as we are because we only had the core training that's still there and still works. Once you master that, then go ahead and get yourself, like a PDF someone might create that'll teach you this, or something else that someone will teach you in an email. Like, yeah, maybe then you can, go ahead and try it. But if you're looking to make actual money and long-term money, this is the route to take, the training that you guys have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, all right. So enough about that. I'm going to close this old guy out. He's like the only picture I found literally 10 minutes before this webinar. So
It's a really good picture though, Joe.
It's pretty good, right? I mean, you wouldn't see
Yeah.
him in Costa Rica, but it's a good old fisherman. So I don't know. I might actually write this up and post it in the Facebook group what I just said. We'll see. Um, but anyway, so let's get back to it, okay? Um, uh, let's do this. Let's get to. All right, so in these done for you videos, okay, let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys know how to make a video for your outsourcers or could pretty much figure it out? Give me a 1. If you don't know and you have no clue, give me a 2. Okay, I'm actually getting a pretty mixed bag here. Dominic says, oh no, that's not Dominic. This is Danny. Danny says he uses Snagit. Snagit's a good tool. I use a screen capture software called Camtasia. Okay, and all Camtasia is, it's a screen. I don't know if I have it up right now. No, it's closed. But it captures your screen and your voice, and then you can go back and you can kind of edit it down. So all these videos were made with that tool, Camtasia. Is I shot the video, I went back, edited it out a little bit what I wanted, and then it automatically will upload to YouTube if you want, or whatever, wherever or you just put it as a file on your computer. The other thing is something like Snagit, and then there's Jing. Snagit is free. Pretty sure Snagit's free. And Jing is free also. Jing is made by the same company that makes Camtasia. It's basically here. It's free. It sits up inside your right in the corner, and then you just kind of do a screen capture like that, and you could choose capture video or capture image. The thing with Jing is it only allows you to make I think 5-minute videos. So you gotta, you can then take that 5-minute video and put it in Windows Movie Maker or in the Mac software that comes with Mac and edit it if you want to, or if you combine 2 5-minute videos or whatever. So if you don't have the money for Camtasia, which is like a couple $100, then you can do a Snagit or Jing, and then I think Jing even uploads it to another sharing site. I forgot the name of it. Let me see.
Yeah, it does upload it to another one. I forgot the name of it too, but I know it's integrated.
Screencast.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it uploads it to screencast.com. So just go to Screencast and get yourself a membership there. And actually, the videos they'll upload to Screencast, and if you want to share them with your outsourcer, you can share them right from Screencast too. Yeah. Snagit costs $50. Screencast-O-Matic is free, says Dominic and Wayne Vass. Hey Wayne, good to see you. So Wayne Vass says Screencast-O-Matic, which I've never used. I think I've heard of it before. I think it's pretty good. So you guys can try that. So just something that you want to, whatever you can use to capture your screen. That's what you want. That's what you want to do, and you want to lay it out in a logical manner. So for PBNs, how many of you guys want me to go over, say, showing you how I lay out this stuff for the outsourcers, like how I run it through my brain so I know what videos to put where and everything else? Just give me a 1 in there in the question box if you guys want to see it, or not, or give me 2 if you don't care. 1, yeah, all right. I got 2 ones, so I don't know how many people want me to get too deep into it. All right, so if you guys want me to do it, what I want you to do is I want you to go into OMG Way one more time, and I'm only doing these hashtags because I want to get people on here who may be lingering around, because I'm going to actually build a system right here. I'm going to build a system right in front of you. I'm going to start it. I'm going to show you how I go through it. So let's do this. Let's just do a hashtag building the money machine. And I've talked about this money machine before in some of my other webinars. So just give me a hashtag building a money machine or building the system. Before I get, who here doesn't know what the money machine is I'm referring to? Give me one if you don't know what the money machine is, and then I'll explain it a little bit. I'm going to pull up my. Okay. Yeah. All right. So some people don't know. Let me see if I can pull up this. Here it is. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let me pull this over. All right. So can you guys see that mind map? Yeah, you should be able to. All right. So, okay. So the money machine is basically this. All it is you building up your systems in your business. Meaning that if you have to create PBNs, you build a system for it. Like you make these videos like I show you. You put them in a project management software, whether it be the one I show you, Basecamp, or whatever it is. But it's a system that you can take somebody and you just put them in the system and they could crank out your PBNs. And you don't have to spend any time one-on-one showing them how to do it. Meaning I find an outsourcer on Odesk or onlinejobs.ph or anywhere. So, if I want to do PBNs, the only qualification that I have is that outsourcer knows how to use Photoshop and has it and knows how to use WordPress. I don't care if they don't know anything else. I don't care if they don't know about SEO or anything. I just want them to know those two things. If they know those two things, I could show them how to make my PBNs. Then from there, I make step-by-step videos like I'm teaching a 12-year-old how to make the PBNs that I want. And I leave nothing out. And I leave nothing to chance. I give them a way to find the logins. I give them redundancies in the training. I make them check things off so that I know that they're completing the tasks like they're supposed to. So if you have systems built for building PBNs, then if you buy 10 PBNs, guess what? You don't have to put those together. Your outsourcer just goes into the project management software and bangs them out. You get a new client and you got to build directories. Guess what? You have that system already in your project management software or anywhere. And basically, you just tell your outsourcer, okay, we have a new client and this is their information. And boom, they start popping out all the directories. If you need, Web 2.0s built, such, so on and so on. Now, building these systems are not, it's not hard, but it's time consuming. Okay, so you could say, well, heck, man, look at all this stuff I got to look at. For me to make videos for each of these, I could just go build the PBN myself. And that's true. The time it takes you to probably do this whole setup, make your own videos and figure out everything, maybe you could probably build 10 or maybe even 20 PBNs in the time it'll take you to make all these videos. But the difference is once you have all these videos done and you have this system set up, then you don't ever have to build one again. So it's a lot of upfront work, and then it frees you up on the back end. I mean, then you can go sell, you can spend time with your family, you can grow your business. Because I'll tell you right now, if you're sitting there trying to make PBNs, it ain't gonna work. Or if you hire an outsourcer and you tell the outsourcer, hey, I want to, you tell the outsourcer, hey, I want you to build some PBNs for me. And he says, sure, I'll do that. And then, you go back and forth for a week trying to tell this guy everything he does. Where's your logins? Where's this? Where's that? And if the guy doesn't know what he's doing, now you got to fire him. And then you got to start the whole process over again. Where this way, I bring a guy in, I pre-qualify him or a girl, whatever. And I say, okay, go build me a PBN. if he can't do it, I give him 3 chances, and if he can't do it with 3 chances and he keeps screwing up or they keep screwing up, then I fire him and I get somebody else. And I tell him when I hire him, I say this is a 1 to 2 week trial. I says there's no guarantee you're going to be hired. If you can do everything like you say you can, then we're going to have a great time and a great working relationship. But I have to we have to see how you do and how fast you can do it. And that's it. So I do weed through quite a few people, and the way I test how long it should take them, if it takes me a half an hour to build out this PBN, it should take them an hour. Like I double the time it takes me. So if they take an hour and 10 minutes, fine, they'll get faster. But if it's taking them 3-4 hours to do it, there's something up. Okay. Yeah, it could be out catching black marlins. That's right, WW. Kyle asks, what's your average cost for having an outsourcer complete all of these steps per PBN? I think I averaged it out to about $35 or $40, and that's with unique content, because what I'll do is I don't have my outsourcers write my content. I have a writer who charges me $3 an article, and the grammar's good on the article. They make sense. And I usually buy 100 at a time, and I give them keywords and stuff. So what I'll do is, I have my project manager. She goes in, she gets the articles, and then she separates them, and then she puts them in the folders for the guy that builds the PBNs. But I mean, if you're just starting out, what I would do is I would just order, say, 10 articles. Find yourself a good writer. I don't have a writer on staff only because it's hard to get a good writer. And usually if they're really good at writing articles, they're not, I can get someone a lot cheaper, let's say, to build my PBNs than if they could build my PBNs and write articles. And I could crowdsource those articles for so cheap that I just do that. So where was I? So what you do is you just crowdsource the articles, get the articles, and then, in those videos, I kind of show you how I have a spreadsheet where I tell the guy what's the title tag, what's the description, and then I would just have a link there to those articles, and I'd say use these articles. So that's what I do. Also, any tips for checking they did the setup all correctly? Yeah, so what happens is if you use like Teamworks, which I show in this video, then it's a task-oriented software. So they have to actually, when they finish the task, they have to click it off, and it shows that it's done. So everything they have to do is there's a task for it. So when I go back and look at what they've done, if I see they clicked off a task but it wasn't completed, I know that they're not following directions. And like I said, I'll give them a chance, and if they do it again, usually they only get one or two chances on that, and then I know, hey, this guy just ain't gonna follow directions. So that's kind of how I know if they're doing it right. Dominic says, do I use iWriter? I use iWriter in a pinch. If it's a pinch, like I got no other choice and I have to, I need an article right away, I'll use them. I don't use them a lot. I don't particularly, I think I can get the articles cheaper and better written by just hiring my own writer. So that's what I do with that. I mean, Gregory, what do you do for articles?
I use exactly what you said you don't use.
What's that?
I use iWriter a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I just don't use it. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
I use iWriter and Greenlight articles as well.
Yeah, and listen, if you got 10 articles to do, iWriter's fine, But my scale is I order 100 articles, so it's a different scale than a lot of people. So, yeah, I mean, iWriter or Greenlight articles, whatever. So avoid Enom 2. I'm having trouble with the persona with them right now. Yeah, Dude, Enom is hard with the who is, and so is network. What is that other one? You know what, Gregory? I think it's network something.
Network solutions.
Network solutions, yeah.
Yeah, and the biggest problem with Enom, a lot of people may not know, is Enom is actually the authority for like all the sites that you register. Like if you get a domain through like GoDaddy or Namecheap or all of them, they all actually register it through Enom in the first place. So if you're going directly to Enom, yeah, they make it much harder with you for personas because they're not as lenient as some of the other people selling through them are. And I only know this because when I used to do web design, I used to resell domains like registration-wise, and you were able to do it through Enom as well. And then I found out that's what all the big guys use.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, okay. So, Peter says, what length are the articles? Usually I tell them between 400 and 600 articles. 400 and 600 words. Because I don't want them all 500. I don't want them all 1. I want them to vary a little bit. So I'll do between 400 and 600. Maybe sometimes I'll do between 400 and 650. And I tell them I want them all different sizes. So, all right. So like building a system, let me just show you. Let me get back to this right here. And, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do, like say if I'm starting a PBN, is I just sit down here and I think about, what is it that has to be done for my PBNs, and I just think of every single thing, and I just put it into this mind map. Like so, if I started the mind map, I don't know what this is going to come up with. Let's see here. I don't know why is this trash can here. Let me see. Oh, I'm in the trash for some reason here. Hold on 1 second. All right, let me I don't know, I'm just gonna get started here. So if we got so say I'm gonna build up my PBN, right? I'm gonna build out, this is gonna be for my PBNs. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just have a node. I mean, you can do this with a mind mapping software. You can make lists with a notebook. You can do it with any way that works for you. So I know that any PBN I have, the first thing I need is, like I wrote in the other one, is I need a persona made. So I have to have a persona made because I'm going to need that persona for the who is. I'm going to need that persona for the WordPress, the author in the WordPress. Maybe I'm going to build out some Twitter accounts, some social accounts, some Google accounts for it. So now I need a persona. How would I go about making my persona? Well, I would just say, okay, I need to get a name from somewhere and an address. So I'm going to go to fake name generator. Does anyone not know what fake name generator is? If you don't, all right, no, just go to fakenamegenerator.com, and what it does is it'll just shoot you out a fake name, a fake address, a fake phone number, fake everything. So that's what I'll do. And so say it's these tier 2 PBNs that I don't care, I care about, but I'm not so concerned. I'll use the address that comes up in fake name generator. That address is fake. It doesn't exist. Okay, if you put that into Google Maps, a lot of times those addresses don't even exist. If I'm using it for my tier 1 and a high value PBN, say a PBN that's costed me $400 or $500 or more, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a real address, and I do that by using Zillow. And I'm not gonna go into how I use Zillow because I have a video on it. In there, I talk about how I use Zillow. So I'm going to get a fake name. I'm going to get a real address. It's basically I find a house that's for rent. Okay. Now, I don't find a house that somebody lives in. It's a house that's for rent. Now, some people might have moral issues with that. That's fine. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I'm just showing you what I do. Next thing I need is a photo, right? So I need to get a photo. I need to get a unique photo. There's a lot of ways to do that, right? I show how to do it in one of those videos. Again, I just find a video with somebody's face, and I take a screenshot of it, and I may throw it into Google Images to see how many, if that photo is unique, how unique that photo is. Again, some people may have issue with that. You do what you feel best. I know Stephen Floyd has a method where he actually distorts a profile image, and I think he has training on that in the PBN section. So again, for PBNs, I would encourage you to look at Greg's material and Stephen Floyd's material. So I got the fake name, I got the address, I got the photo for this persona. So all this goes, into a spreadsheet for the whatever domain that I'm using. Now, say I want to build out social properties for this, right? Let's see here, and I'm probably, and if I spell anything wrong, it's just I'm terrible at spelling. So what the this thing went all the way up there. There it is. Okay, so we're gonna do social properties, right? So then we're gonna do Twitter, and so on. So what I'm doing is I'm laying out every single thing I need. Now, I may not need this for every PBN I have, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it out. So, I mean, this is going to be my system. So I know, everything that's possible, and then I could see what I can eliminate or not eliminate. So then what I'll go from here is I'll go, okay, what do I need to do for Twitter? And and so on. So I'll figure out, okay, what I want to do for that. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to make a video for each one of these, right? I'll just reference the one video. And if I make a video on how to do Twitter, how to do Facebook, how to do Gmail, or whatever, these videos I could reuse. I could say, okay, if you have a client, make a Twitter. All right, well, if it's going to be basically the same video for a client making a Twitter as it's going to be for my PBN. So I can have the same video there. But by going in and doing this way, when you build any kind of system, it gives you a way to lay out your thoughts, to lay out what you want to do, what you and where you want to put where. Like say, for example, I'm down here and it's time to get content for my PBNs. Okay, and like I said, I have tier 1 and tier 2 content. So let's say I say, okay, I'm going to do crowdsourced articles. Okay, so for content, this is where I'm going to get the this is where I'm going to get the articles. If I crowdsource it, well, once I get the articles, what am I going to do next? So I'm going to order them. Where am I going to get them from? I'm going to get them from guru.com or whatever, right? I'm going to get them from guru.com. There, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in OneDrive, and so forth and such. Of what are you going to, where are these articles going? What are you going to do with them? How are they going to flow back to your outsourcer that's going to be able to get them easily? But say what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to get some semi-unique content, right? So semi-unique content, it's still decent content. The grammar is really good, and a lot of times it's pretty much almost unique. I'll get articles from Article Builder, right here. And then I will run them through Spin Rewriter, right? And that's going to be my semi-unique content. Is anyone not following me right now? Just let me know if you're not. Is this recorded? Yes, this is being recorded. This is going to be in your members area. Let me ask you, who does everyone know what Article Builder is? Do you want me to show you guys how I get semi-unique content? Just give me a 1 if you want to know. No, yes. Yes, all good. 1, 1, 1. All right, so I'm going to show you real quick because the way I use Article Builder is going to be a little different than a lot of people use it. Maybe not. You know, maybe not, maybe everyone knows this, but this is how I get, a lot of times I'll get 100% unique content doing this. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, let's take this over here. All right. And we're going to pick a category. So let's go down here. Let's pick a category. Let's just go green energy. Okay.
Fishing.
What's that?
Oh,
What are you saying?
I was saying choose fishing.
No, fishing.
Based on earlier. Recreation fishing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do anything. So let's do fishing. Okay. Let's do fishing. All right. So I'm going to use super spun content. I'm not going to use expanded spun content. I want the articles to be 500 words. I want to max out. I want 20 articles. I'm going to go into advanced options. I'm going to go spin articles together. I'm going to go build my article. Okay, so what this is going to do, it's going to build the article. And here it is. Now, you'll see it's a huge, it basically is a spin tax with all the articles spun together, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this. And I'm going to go to Spin Rewriter. You could use any kind of spinning software you want. You know, Word AI, Spin Rewriter, whatever it is. Also, I thought Spin Rewriter was bad practice. I mean, look, it depends on the way you use it. Okay, watch what I'm using, and then ask a question. Then let me know if you still have a question. Okay, so I'm going to put it in here. All right. Now here it is. It's in here. So what I'm going to do is generate a unique version. Okay, so all right, great. This is a unique article. It created it. It spun those 20 articles together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this article and go back up into Spin Rewriter. I'm going to go to Rewrite, and I'm going to rewrite. I'm going to spin this article again. Okay, we're going to start the rewriting process. Now again, I'm not spinning this article and using this same article 100 times. I'm only using this article once. And again, this whole process that I'm showing you, I have a system for that my outsourcers do, and I don't do this. You know, they do this to get semi-unique content. Okay, we want to go to one-click rewrite. I like to do the middle. Okay, medium. Some people like the high. You know, you'll definitely get 100% unique, and it'll be kind of readable, but not I don't know, not awesome. I just keep it safe. And then I hit start one-click rewrite process, and it's going to start, you know, rewriting this article. Now I'm going to be clear about these articles. I'm going to be clear about these articles. I do not use these articles for linking. I only use them for content in the PBN. If I am linking from a PBN, even if it's a tier 2 PBN, it's going to be with 100% unique content. The same way when I use, let me see here. Let me continue to final step.
So Joe, pretty much what you're saying is you use this as like filler content on your PBNs?
Exactly. Filler content.
To have more articles built? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The same way that I use the software, Gregory software. What's the name of that software again? Command? No. I don't know why I can't remember it.
Network Crusader.
I don't know. I got like a mind block on that for some reason. Yeah, just like Network Crusader. When I showed you guys how I use it to create content, the content that it created or curated is only filler content. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say generate a unique version. So now what I do is I have this article, and let's see, it shouldn't be more than 3 or 5% in Copyscape, but who knows? I mean, I could be proven wrong right here live. It wouldn't be the first time. Let's log in. Let's try it out. Let's see. So, okay, so this is telling me that according to Copyscape, this article is 100% unique. All right. So instead of buying articles and everything else for the content, filler content in the PBN, you know, my outsourcers will just go and do this. Now, they're not going to do, okay, they're not going to like generate another unique article using this and then stick it in there. They're going to, if they want another article for the same PBN, they're going to go back to Article Builder they're going to start the process all over again, build a new 20 new articles. I'm not even going to take this again. I'm going to start from the beginning. Okay, and then they go through the process, and then there you go. I have another unique or semi-unique article. What is filler content? Filler content is just like if you have a PBN and you want to add pages to it. So, say I had this article and I was putting it on my PBN. The title is "Idea for a Great Day of Angling." I can make a page for angling ideas, and then put that and that be that page. I can do it as a post and just make it a post or something like that. It's just to give the PBN a little bit of girth, give them some pages. Are you talking about spinning for tier 2, 3? Yeah, for me, my tier 1s, I only put unique content on. But I'll do stuff like this for the tier 2 PBNs and stuff like that. I mean, you probably could get away with doing this on a tier 1 if you wanted to, as long as you don't drop a link in it. I wouldn't put a link in this, even if it is saying there's no results, because these are articles that are available to a lot of people. But you could put it as filler content on a tier 1. I have done it before, but I don't. If you paid a lot of money for that PBN, I wouldn't do it. I mean, look, if it's a PBN that's under $100, yeah, I mean you could probably do it and don't worry about it, but if it's a high value, then those high value PBNs, I try to make them look like real sites, and I go the length with those. I'll make the social properties. I'll do all that stuff. Basically, what Stephen Floyd talks about. I'll do all that stuff for my high level PBNs.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. With my PBNs, I like to think of them as though they're like my own personal like horse races to race me to the top of Google. So if you had like an expensive, breed or whatever, you're not gonna feed them crap. You're gonna feed them like the best food that you can to keep them and maintain them healthy. That's the same thing you want to do for your expensive PBNs.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good analogy. It's a good analogy, Gregory. I like that. So, all right. So, I mean, so that's basically how I would get unique content. So, say if we were going to do that, so say I was going to do semi-unique content, okay, that procedure, then okay, we'd have first would be article builder. Okay, I have to make a video on article builder. What would I have to show them how to do? So the task, if I was to create a task, like I show you guys in that in Teamworks, the task would be article builder, right? And then the subtask would be, combine, whatever it is, combine 20 articles in such and such niche, right? And then it would be, put article in Spin Rewriter. Then under Spin Rewriter, I'd have the tasks that have to do there. Now, for Article Builder, I'm not going to make a video Article Builder, log into Article Builder, a video, how to combine the 20 articles. It's all going to be one video, but the tasks are going to be what I want him to do for each task that he's going to have to check off. Same thing with Spin Rewriter. Okay. And then from there, there's going to be, at the end, where are they going to put the articles when they're done? They're going to drop them into OneDrive or whatever. So then that way, when the outsourcer goes to do the semi-unique articles, okay, he follows down. There's no question what he's going to do and how he's going to get these articles done. If I just told him on Skype, hey, I want you to go to Article Builder, combine 20 articles, put in Spin Rewriter, then spin it again, then put it in Copyscape, then put it in OneDrive, then do it again. He's going to yes me, but he's going to miss stuff and he's not going to quite understand it. All right. So unique content with links inside of PBNs as posts or pages with blog with fake spun filler content on other pages, right? Yeah, I mean that's what I do on. Yeah, I mean it just depends. Yeah, but basically that's what I do for my tier twos. You know, yeah, that's it. So how much would you spend on an expensive PBN? I mean, it all depends on the PBN and the links that are going to it. I wouldn't tell you like, oh, if it's a trust flow 30 and domain authority 30, it's worth this much. Those are guides. Okay, those are guides to tell you, okay, but what's going to tell you if the quality of that PBN is the links that are going to. You have to look at the links, where they're coming from, because those domain authority can be manipulated, trust flow can be manipulated, not as easily as domain authority, but I've seen some super spammy blogs with a trust flow of 30 or 40. So anyway, all right. So hey, so does anyone have any questions on this at all? On this, do they kind of get? I mean, was this helpful to like see how to kind of build a system?
Joe, it was actually very helpful for me. I actually just went ahead and downloaded that program because I've always forgotten to ask you which one you use, and now that I see it on your screen, I just downloaded it. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this Simple Mind is for Mac. There's tons of free ones for Windows. It doesn't matter. I mean, just go to Mind Map, free Mind Map. I think Simple Mind you can get a free version. Mine, this one I bought it. It costs like $20. So just
Hey, Joe.
yeah.
Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sorry, Joe. Your sound kept going in and out, Joe. I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. What I was saying is Simple Mind is for Mac. It's You can get a free version. I have the paid version, so I have a little more options. For Windows, there's tons of free mind. Just Google free mind map software. So it doesn't really matter how you do it as long as you do it. Did you hear that, or was it still breaking up?
Nope, heard you just fine.
How can you manipulate trust flow? Well, I mean, you just spam it. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, he's spam. I mean, Greg, you seen that, right? I'm not crazy, am I?
What?
You've seen some high trust flow
Yeah.
domains that
I,
are
I
full
mean,
spam, right?
yeah, of course. You're gonna find spam like everywhere. People will always find a way to manipulate stuff, but just like a bunch of us have said before, trustful is the hardest to manipulate. That doesn't mean you cannot. I know all of us personally know how to, but it's not exactly easy to do in the first place. Like the amount of time someone would have to spend doing it, it's really not worth it on most fronts, which is why you really won't see it happen as often as you do with DA.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then someone asks here, uh, can you just build my PBS? I'm thinking they say PBN for me. Um, you know, I'm hoping he's joking. Uh, I'm hoping he's joking, but here's the thing.
No, no, I think he's being
All
serious.
right, again, listen, listen, listen. I made you these videos, right? These outsourcing videos that I don't even want you to use. I want you to create your own for numerous reasons. But it goes back to that fisherman story, right? So if I was that young fisherman, I'd be like, hell yeah, I could build those for you. Just give me $20, $30, and I'll build them for you. But that's not going to do you any good in the long run. That's not going to help you build your business. That's not going to help you get to the next level. That's going to maybe help you. That's going to maybe make you dependent on me, and I'm probably going to charge you such a cheap price. I'm not going to do as good as It's not going to be as good as if you hired your own outsourcer and did it yourself. All this stuff. Yeah, Corey, I figured you were kidding, but um, it's an idea people have. So it's like all this stuff is like it's at first it seems daunting, but it's how you build a business. And that's one thing that if you've ever had a business, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I've built a lot of businesses and it just doesn't happen overnight. You have to build it. And this is, well, you have to think about this. It's not get rich quick, right? It's not like put up a site and just sell it or lease it or rent it and you're going to be making 10 grand a month. You're building a business. You're building an online business. You're building a future for you and your family. You're building a future so you don't have to depend on anybody. But nobody's going to hand it to you. Nobody hands you anything in this world we live in. So, anyway, yeah. But okay. Let's see. Celine says, hiring an outsourcer would help me a lot because I still have a day job. However, so far I don't understand well enough what I'm doing to outsource it to someone else. That is an excellent point, Celine. Before you outsource anything, you have to know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, then the person you hire is not going to know what to do. And even if they say they know what they're doing, you're not going to be able to test what they're doing. You're not going to be able to say, you're not going to be able to check them because you don't know if they're doing it right or not. So you have to learn how to do it yourself. You have to build those PBNs yourself. You have to sit down and you have to create this system yourself. And every item you put on this system, you have to do it. When I build this system out, I'll do every item. I'll time myself and I'll go through the steps. Like, I built enough Twitter accounts, I could probably just do it from memory, but I'll actually build out the Twitter accounts because things may happen. Things might have changed on Twitter that I don't know about because it's always changing. There might be some things I've forgotten. So as I'm building out this thing, I'm actually going through and doing it, so I know all the steps that are included in it. So if you just started,
Yeah, Joe, that's also. Sorry, Joe. I was just gonna say, yeah, that's also really important. Just like you said, I had my first outsourcer ever. I only had her for 3 weeks until I fired her. But anyway, just like you said, I know that it's one of those things where, like, I know it, but you take for granted that other people aren't gonna know it. So I literally used the tools that you were talking about earlier. I used Camtasia, and I recorded myself doing everything step by step as though I was teaching it to like a brand new person, and then pass that off to her broken down in videos. And just like you said, that process works really well.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, good. And then let's see here. How much filler content should you have on a PBN, or the ratio of filler content and content you link from? I mean, it just all depends. Like I said, there's a lot of videos in there on how to build PBNs. It really depends on the PBN, where you're linking to, what you're doing with it. If you have a PBN that you just stuff with a bunch of articles with links, is it going to be less effective than one that you build out that looks totally legit and real? I don't know how less effective it's going to be, but if there's an update or a manual check, are they going to be able to tell that your site's a PBN or a real site? And again, the filler content I use isn't necessarily junk. It's just not handwritten unique. Get them from Greg. Greg, you sell PBNs already done?
Yeah, I sell a few.
And look, I'm not bagging on anyone selling PBNs. I'm just using it as an example. Like, you guys got to learn how to do this yourself. It's not bad to buy them done. If someone was selling them me done at this point, and I, some ones I might buy some, but you have to learn how to do it, and you have to get your systems down. Is what you got to do, or else you don't have a business. If you don't know how your business runs, you don't have one. So let's see. Oh yeah, Kyle says don't listen to him. Yeah, no, Corey was kidding on that, but it's just, I just covered that just for the mentality. Joe, are you still using HostGator? I use HostGator now and again. I use HostGator in that example, but if you go, I deleted that site and everything, only because whenever I put out a training, it usually gets hacked and people try to get into my hosting. So that hosting account I used was, I just got it for that demo. So let's see.
For anyone that's trying to hack Joe's sites, I will sell you his personal information. Don't worry about it. Don't need to hack it. Don't go through the hassle.
Don't go through the hassle. There you go. All right. Cliff says he never received the outsourcing videos. Cliff, you have to log into the site. This is the site right here that you registered for. So when you registered, you created a username and password. So when you register, what you're going to do is you're going to, the videos are all in here. This little button right here allows you to download each video. Okay, so that's where all the videos are. Let's see. Hi, Joe. Thanks for all you've done at OMG. You're welcome, Francis. Oh, Francis never got the login. Yeah, Francis, in the question box, you will see a register link for it's joemarfoglio.com/bonus/register. So if any of you guys just joining, last week I gave out all these done for you videos for PBNs, and then here I kind of go into how I use Teamworks, and then I show you how I use these videos. Okay, so these are actually done for you outsourcing videos. You can use them if you want. I recommend that you don't use them, but you look at what I did and you make your own. And this kind of shows you how I use Teamworks. If you want to get into this site, just the register link is in the question box. Just go there and register.
I just put it in the question box again, Joe.
Okay, and then when you guys look, I did this whole thing last minute, probably about 2 hours before the webinar last week. So you're not signing up for anything. I'm not going to spam you. You'll get something from GetResponse that says, just verify your email. You verify your email, and then you'll get any updates that I put onto the site. Okay, you don't verify your email, you won't get updates if I add any videos to this site. And again, these videos will be in the members area of Breakthrough and Director's Cut, but I don't know, they're just not in there right now. So if you want access to them right now, register, and then boom, you'll be able to download them and everything else. And last week I opened up registration for all of OMG, and that was it. This week it's only for you guys. So don't give that link out to anybody outside of Breakthrough or Director's Cut right now. If someone's in Project X or J, you could probably give them it, but don't just be passing that around. And actually, when this webinar is over, I'm going to close registration. So you can only registration right now. Let's see. Do you think if I'm super careful, I use the same PBN for taking, I can use the same PBN for taking 3 geolocations for the hotel marketing, for example? Boom, boom, boom. All right, listen, Corey, do you have a microphone? Maybe we'll just bring you live, and we can talk about that. So let me know if you have a mic. Can you define or the different tiers of PBNs? What is tier 1 PBN versus a tier 3? It's basically how you link. So let me show you. I'll show you tier. There's tons of information on this already, but let's see. This isn't obviously the right. You'd probably want to use a bubble map for this, but I'm going to just show you. Okay, so let's see if I get this to work with this here. Hold on, let me, for some reason, there we go. Okay, so let's say this is my money site. Okay. Okay, so this is the money site, right? So this is your money site that you wanna link to. So you have this. We're gonna say is going to be your tier 1. All right. So this is actually this site, whatever this is, whether it's your site, a Facebook page, or anything. This is what's going to link to your money site. So there's going to be a link right here on this site going directly to your money site. Okay, then let's say you do a tier 2. Okay, this is going to be another property that links to your tier 1, and then so on and so forth. So say if you do a tier 3, okay, the tier 3 links to the tier 2, links to the tier 1, which links to your money site. So what people do a lot of times is they'll take lower quality links, and so they'll do a bunch of links, to their tier. So they'll have a bunch of tier 3 links that will be linking to their tier 2. So maybe they have 10 or 12 links. So that'll build up the authority of this tier 2, which then will build up the tier 1. And if you want, you can do a couple of tier 2s to your tier 1. Okay, and then you can do the same thing like that. So that's kind of how the tier system works. I don't know. If you don't understand that, let me know. Okay, let's see. What's your thoughts on using Becker's PBN exchange? I don't.
He doesn't have one.
You don't have one, but there is one in your software, right, Gregory?
Yeah, I think that's maybe what he's confusing it with, since Becker promoted my software, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like the PBN exchange in there in Network Crusader. Yeah, I like that a lot. So, okay, I don't have access to these videos. Manoj, I just did it. Just go to the registration link, register, and you will have access to those videos. Would you link with filler to another article on the PBN? I mean, you can. I mean, you could even link out with those to like an authority site or something. I never got the login. Francis, when you log in, when you register to that site, you create the login. So if you didn't get the login, just try registering again with a different email or something, and you'll be able to create your password, and then your username is going to be the email address. Liz is having problems with Cloudflare. I don't have time to go into that right now. I think there's some training on that with Cloudflare.
I don't know if there's any in OMG. If she is a Source University student, it's in there. I did a 45-minute video on it, but within OMG itself, I don't know, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I mean, is it something that you can go over real quick, Gregory, or does it take some time?
It takes a little bit of time. I mean, if you want, while you're answering some questions, I could put my presentation I had in Source University and just cut it real short, and it won't be that long. So.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do: is give me a 1. Give me a 1 if you guys want to see Gregory do that. I mean, be honest. If you don't, give me a 2. I'm gonna just go with the consensus. If everyone knows how to use Cloudflare and they don't care, give me a 2. And all I'm gonna do is see if there's more 1s or 2s, and that's where I'm gonna go with it. Justin says JomoFogler.com/bonus/register isn't working. The bonus has to be a capital B. If it's a lowercase b, it's not going to work. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. So just copy that link directly from the question box. And if it's not working, give it a couple of times, and maybe just too many people are on it. All right, Greg. I got about 95% 1s here. Gregory, you there?
Yeah, sorry, I was on my other screen just pulling up the slideshow, just cutting some stuff out. But yeah, sure, I'll have that ready in a few minutes for you.
All right, let me hit some more questions here, and then we can do it. All right, I'll let you get ready. Just tell me when you're ready.
Sure.
When you register a domain name, do you use the fake persona for all 4 categories? Yes. If you're talking about GoDaddy and talking about all the different, like the register, the owner, and everything else, I use the same name for everything. Okay, Steven's still getting an error. Steven, just copy that link and see if it works. All right, so Milan said you're a tremendous help. No problem, Milan. Okay, Corey's going to try to get a microphone. Joanne says registrant, administrator, technical billing. I don't know what that means. Joanne, what does that mean? Is it something we were talking about before? I don't know. Has Teamwork taken the place of Churlio, or do you still use Churlio for other reasons? I use Teamworks. I had on Armando. He uses Trilio. Some people use Basecamp. So it's just what works for you, what you want to do. I use Teamworks because I do a lot with Teamworks. It's how I coordinate with outsources. I coordinate with clients. There's a lot of stuff I do with it, and I like the way the tasks are laid out. I also like how I can upload files to it. So with Teamworks, I'm not going to open my Teamworks right now, only because I don't know what's on it and I don't want to just show everybody. But like when I create a task, if you look at those videos, you go through the tasks, you can add a comment in there, you could attach a file to it. So like, for example, we had to do an edit on a website. We had to replace a logo. So what we did is we just went in, the web designer said, replace logo in the description. We just write a replace logo with this new one. It's attached. In the file section, I attach the logo. So everything's there that web designer needs to do his job. So that's why I like Teamworks. And if you get into Teamworks, I'm going to tell you, they have a lot of options. Don't get lost. Don't get frustrated. And don't go all day trying to figure it out. Just do like I show you in those videos to get started, and that's all you need. You don't need all the bells and whistles that they have in there. Okay, Corey says he has a mic. Okay, I'll get to you in a second, Corey. Jeff asked me if I mix up the tier 2s and tier 1s. Yeah, I mix things up a lot. Look, whenever you're linking to your site, your main money site, you want it to look as natural as possible. Like it's not like I'll say, okay, I have 10 tier 2s that go to 3 tier 1s that link to my site and I get movement. I look at the site as a whole. I look at the competition. I look at what's linking to the site, and I try to make things look as natural as possible. That's basically what I do. Is there a training on making a site audit? If you're talking about a site audit for a prospect or a client, Cotton has stuff on that. I'm pretty sure he does. All right. JL says it's working. He just registered. Fantastic. On multi-tier linking's analogy to domain authority stacking. Listen, tier linking has been around almost as long as SEO has been around. Domain authority stacking is just basically using Web 2.0s to tier links. But yeah, basically this is how people have been doing SEO for years. It's just basically tiering the links, and it's transferring power up the line, or like transferring juice up the line, or authority. Do you hire writers for your money site, or do you write it yourself? I hire writers. I don't write any content because my grammar is terrible, and so is my spelling. Okay, thanks guys. How do you pay for hosting? I use my PayPal. I just use PayPal. Look, if you're super paranoid, you can use a Visa Vanilla card or prepaid if you want. I just use my PayPal. Yeah, Network Crusader. It's not from Alex Becker. It's from Gregory and his partner there. All right. How much is Teamworks? I think it's free. I think it's free. I think it's free for 30 days, and I think it's like $10 a month or something like that. Again, that's just what I use. Other people use other things. Can the Google bot read all pages of my site even when I no index follow them? In Germany, we are forced to have an impresium on every website with our name, contact info. If I no index follow all my things, can Google still recognize that info? Can this still create a footprint? They're not supposed to crawl. No index, but I bet who knows if they do or not. They probably do. But all right. Why is credit card hosting a payment for? I mean, look, I don't know if it is or not. Some people. I mean, I'm just saying if you want to get paranoid with it, then you can look at it. Like saying like Google's going to be able to get in and see how you paid for that hosting account. They'd have to actually have access to your account, which they don't. But some people, feel like that's a risk. So I don't worry about it. I've never had a problem. But if someone knows like really why if someone has a concrete reason why they can't use a credit card and wants to stick it in its question box, let me know. But
Yeah, I don't worry too much about it either, Joe. And I also have Cloudflare pulled up, by the way, whenever you are ready. No rush.
all right, let's do this. How long? Joanne asked. Let me just answer this. Let me answer this one last question, and then let me bring Corey on. How long after registering a domain is it too late to change the name of the registrant? Yeah, I don't think it's ever too late. I don't know. I change it. I'll change it. I'll buy it and then I'll change it. I don't know, whenever. As soon as I change it, it changes the ownership. I don't think there's a time. I mean, do you think there's time, Gregory?
No, there's no time frame that I know of. I mean, if you think about it, let's say you owned a website and someone wanted to purchase it from you. So they purchase it from you at any given time. They're now the new owner of it. Their information changes. They may not change the registrar account because how does Google know that they didn't maybe buy the whole registrant account from you as well at the same time? They don't know that. So just changing it is good enough.
Yeah, and guys, it's not like Google. I mean, you can get so paranoid, like Google's gonna get into your account and he's gonna see where you live, and they're gonna send a Google car and take pictures. I mean, like it goes on and on. Like there's a point where you want to be safe, but you want to be safe and you don't want to be, but you don't want to. There's a balance too. Okay, so let's. Corey says he has a mic. Let's bring him on. He was talking about something about hotels. So let's see what he has to say here. Hey, Corey, what's happening?
Oh, hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little low, so maybe talk a little louder, but how's it going?
Well, I am at fish camp, and
Can't really hear
you
him.
know, I
Um,
couldn't miss an episode. I'm actually calling or tuning in from Haines, Alaska. So it's raining out and it's freezing.
oh, well, that's not, well, I can hear you now. Got a little louder. So it's
But
raining and it's freezing in Alaska. Um, um,
yeah, that's right. But I'm having a good time, and man, I appreciate all your time that you give to us.
hey, no problem, Corey. I'm actually in my office sweating. But because but anyway, so what's going on over there in Alaska? What can we help you with?
Okay, so what we're doing is um, I have a bed and breakfast, and we're often too full because of OMG and that drive that we put into everything. And so I end up begging my buddies like, "Hey man, you got a nice condo. Let me fill it up for the month. Come on, you want to go on vacation? Let's go on holidays." And that kind of, two of my interns really want to learn. They want to learn SEO. They want to learn marketing, and they want to change their life. And so our plan is, and I'm quite a ways into building this PBN, and I want it to cover, so I want to do brokering like Booking.com, but I want to do it in the SEO. I want to do it in the organic section. Booking.com is all paid. When you're looking for a hotel, you go straight to the paid section of Google, and I want to hit the organic section where I can fill up other hotels, lease the site out, things like that. And so I want it for Alaska, for Anchorage, Juneau. Juneau's the capital city. There's 7,000 searches every month for Juneau hotels, and I want it, so it's a brokering site. And I also want it for Victoria, British Columbia, because that's where we're going to do our demo for Alaska Airlines. We're also trying to use it to land an Alaska Airlines contract. So it's kind of multi-purpose.
All right, let me just summarize this. Because I think I got what you're talking about. You got a bed and breakfast in Alaska, but what you want to do is you want to build a site, like a destination site that people can go to, and they can choose hotels, and you want to rank in multiple cities. So basically, you want to take this one site and you want to rank it in multiple cities.
Yes.
Okay, and then your question about that is, can you use the same PBNs? Like, what's your question about that on the PBNs?
Well, when I first started getting into this, I was thinking that I was going to build a different PBN for each location. So one for Juneau, Alaska, another one for Anchorage, Alaska, and another one for British Columbia. And after listening to and looking at your mind map and thinking more about some of the training, that if I was super careful in linking these PBNs, that maybe I don't have to create so many of them, and I can use them to have basically one PBN for all three locations.
Well, like the mind map I show, listen, what you're doing is if you have this one PBN and you link it to that site, right? Your one site, no matter how careful you are, if you're taking that same PBN and linking it to other pages, it's all coming from the same PBN. So is it going to transfer more power? Like if you split that same PBN to 3 cities, I don't know how much, I'm not going to tell you like, yeah, that's going to work, or it's probably going to, you're probably going to get a lot of juice from one and a little bit from the other two. But like say you did this with 3 or 4 or 5 PBNs, you're leaving a little bit of a footprint there. Also, whenever I build out a site that has multiple cities, I use new PBNs for each city. Maybe
okay.
I'll do one PBN.
That's what I originally thought, but
yeah,
then all of a sudden I thought, oh man, I could get lazy and get fat here for a second.
I mean, look, that's not to say that you have one PBN and you link to a couple of cities, right? But I wouldn't do it all the time. Like, so say I have a lot of lead gen sites, right? And that seems to be the craze. Everybody wants to build lead gens and ranking rents. But I have a lead gen site and it ranks throughout the United States. It's one site. But each city, there's a Yelp page, there's a Facebook page, there's a Twitter page. Each city has its own presence socially, in directories and everything. And then I have PBNs that go specific to that city. So some of the PBNs I have are city-related PBNs. So maybe it's a PBN about Austin, and it's linking to it. It's niche-related. Maybe I'll take a PBN and I'll link to Austin, and then I'll link to the homepage. Or maybe I'll have a PBN, and in there I'll say, and you can find this company in San Antonio and Austin. But however I link it, I do it so that it makes sense. And the biggest thing is if you're trying to rank in a city, you have to think about it. What's your competition doing? Okay, what does Google want to see?
Oh yeah. If Victoria, British Columbia is going to be pretty difficult. Right.
So if it's a local result, and you have a Yelp page, you have a Twitter page, you have a Facebook page, you're in all the local directories. So say it's my hotelsite.com/Victoria, right? So
Yeah.
the link on your Yelp page would be that Victoria link. The link on your directory pages will be that Victoria link. So now what you're doing is as Google sees all these other links coming in, they're seeing it coming in from linking from local properties, and it makes more sense, you know?
Could you say that part one more time, please?
So Google sees all these links coming. So when it crawls all your links and say it's in Victoria and it sees that you have a Yelp page, right? You got a link coming from your Victoria Yelp page. It sees that you
Yeah.
have a Twitter page in Victoria. It sees that you're in the hotel directories and the different business directories in Victoria. Those links going to your Victoria page, then it makes you look more like a real hotel in Victoria, thus making it easier for you to rank that Victoria page because you're relevant and you're just not some spammy site. Like it's not just some spammy site that you put, Victoria hotels and then you shot a bunch of PBNs to it. Can that work? Sure, that could work, but it's better if you create that whole social and that directories the same way you create a persona. You're creating that business appearance in Victoria, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to have a separate booking page, with a separate booking engine for Victoria, for example, and then a separate one for Alaska. But now that it seems like maybe I need to create for Alaska, that I need to create a separate one for each city, like you were saying.
I mean, look, it depends on the competition, I mean, if there's 7,000 searches and all these searches, and you got some decent competition, that's what I would create a page for each city. I mean, you look at Booking.com. If you look up Alaska hotels, it doesn't take you to Booking.com's homepage. It takes you to their Alaska page, right? Whatever, their Alaska page, because that's what's relevant.
Right.
So that's what I would do. Unless you just have some extremely powerful domain, but even then, I would still create a page for each one. I mean, that's
not a different site for each one.
No, I would just create a different page for each one. Because if you're doing a different page for each one, okay, when you send your PBNs to it, you're building the authority of that site in its entirety. Even when you send multiple Yelp and Twitter and Facebook, even though those are no follow links, you're still building the authority of that site. So say if you do that and you rank in 4 cities, when you put your 5th city up, you're going to see, holy moly, that thing's popping up on page 1 because you've become relevant, you've built your authority, and it's going to be easier to add the cities. Now, look, that's what I would do. If you want to go and you want to put up separate sites, you can do that also. But now you're going to have unique content fully on each of those sites. You're going to have to build those sites out. And then if you start taking your PBNs and you're like, well, if I have 3 different sites and I can rank to all 3 sites from each of my PBNs, I mean, you can do that once, but if you do that 3 or 4 times, now you're creating a footprint, right? So it's a balance. It's what you want to do. I've done it both ways. I like the main site because I think Google is going more towards authority, and if I can build that authority out, then it's just easier for me to rank and easier for me not to get penalized.
Right. All right. I was going to use the 7-pack, an address for each one, and then build out from there. So that seems to be the highest authority around and the easiest.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a 3-pack now because they don't have 7, and you could use that, but your site has to, for you to get in that 3-pack or 7-pack, for you to get in that 3-pack, your site has to have authority. You got to be showing up somewhere. Like, you're not going to be showing up on page 7 and getting that. Like, that's not a strategy on its own. That's something that comes with your site. So if you start bringing your site up and say, I've seen it page 2, like you get to page 2, sometimes you'll show up in there, depending on the competition. But if you're nowhere to be found and your site doesn't have any authority, you're not generally going to show up in that unless there's no competition at all.
Thank you.
All right. So hopefully that helped you out, Corey.
No, that's amazing. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming on, and enjoy yourself in Alaska. Maybe you catch
It's
big fish out
we're
there.
cooking up a giant head from a halibut that was about 150 pounds. So we're gonna make some chowder for dinner.
Sweet. Sounds good, man. All right, Corey.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
we'll talk to you.
boys.
All right. Bye. All right, Gregory, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Are you ready to take the screen?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
You want me to give it to you? You want to take it yourself?
No, you can actually pass it to me because then I have to make sure which screen it's gonna show.
All right. Let me see if I can find it. All right. We're both coming on as OMG organizers, so let me see if I do that.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm switching it to you.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. So it's not showing a screen yet. You got to show your screen.
Yeah, I just want to make sure which screen is showing. Hold on. All right, cool. So do you see cloudflare.com or my Facebook?
I see it.
Okay, cool.
I see it.
Good. All right, awesome. So for Cloudflare in particular, is anyone here not familiar with Cloudflare? If you're not, just give me a 2. And I promise this presentation won't be long, but it's important. So if you don't know what Cloudflare is, give me a 2. All right, I see a lot of 2s. Okay, cool. So pretty much what I'm going to show you is going to be a way where you're able to save a lot of money by using, like, let's say, a shared host and being able to leverage them in order to kind of have your hosting spread out, but still do it on a shared host and do it smartly. So Cloudflare is something that, first off, I'll let you know right now, is going to leave a footprint, but that's fine. And I know that sounds like a little crazy. You're like, what do you mean it's going to leave a footprint? How is that fine? The reason why that's fine is because Cloudflare is used on millions of websites. So Cloudflare is something that's known as a CDN, which is a content delivery network, and it's just a fancy way of saying it helps sites load faster. So it puts them on a server closer to the person requesting them. So for example, I live in New York, so if I want to go to abc.com, whatever server is closest to New York, if there isn't a New York one, that's the one that's going to present it to me. So therefore, I get to see the website faster, okay? Cloudflare also is used a lot by people to prevent spam and to prevent a lot of attacks that happen on their websites, which is primarily what it's used for. So because of that, there's millions of websites that use this service. Now, Cloudflare is actually very, very cheap. And what I mean by very cheap, I mean it can be free. That's actually the way I use it, the way you'll end up using it too. So it's free. So this is awesome, right? So, sorry, just jumping through my slides real quick to skip over the stuff I don't need to go over. Sorry, just one second. Okay, so let's just imagine for a second, right, that Google has an employee or has employees that they want to review a bunch of different websites to check for the same name servers and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, you know how they can tie a lot of sites together, and a couple of SEO hosts in particular were penalized for it. Well, with this, pretty much what it does is it gives you the same name servers that millions of other sites have. So Google is not going to pay employees to go through millions of websites to check them to see if they're a PBN. They're just not going to do it. So this is one way to kind of help get over that and avoid it. Okay, so now that you kind of know the benefits on how it works and why it works the way it does, before I jump into creating a Cloudflare account, any questions on that in particular before I jump in? Like why you'd want to use Cloudflare?
I don't see any questions. I think
okay, cool. So no questions. That's good. So now creating a Cloudflare account is really, really, really easy. Pretty much all it is you're going to put whatever domain you're trying to register because you don't have to verify the domain at first. So let's say my domain was, like I said, abc.com, right? So I would just put Gregory at abc.com, right? And it's going to ask me to confirm the email. So I'll put that, okay? And then it's going to ask me for a password. I'll just make up something. So okay, you're going to agree to the terms and conditions, and you're going to go ahead and create, an account. Let me try that one more time. Sorry. Okay, it looks like it's, let's try that one more time. Maybe because I put abc.com. Let's try Gregory at, I don't know, OMG machines. All right, cool. Yeah, it was because I put abc.com and it knows there's no way I'm part of abc.com. Okay, cool. So now it's going to ask you to add your website, right? So in here you would put whatever website it is that you have, right? And it's going to scan your DNS records. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and do this live because I would need an actual test website for you guys to see it on. But pretty much what happens is you put your domain name in here. After you put your domain name in here, it's going to go ahead and tell you what your brand new name servers are. Now, if you're not familiar with name servers or how to change them, they're going to be in, I believe, Pillar 2 of Greg's series of the 4 pillars. So it's going to be in Pillar 2, and it shows you how to change your name servers. So what happens is Cloudflare gives you name servers that you would need to go ahead and change it to. And after you go in and you register and you change your name servers, it's now going to be as though it's going through Cloudflare. So once again, your site is going to be on the same kind of name servers that millions of other websites are on, which is going to help mask your site and protect you overall. So you're going to have new name server, you're going to have new IP, you're going to have all this stuff that millions of other websites have, so Google can't easily uncover what it is you do. Now, just be warned, you cannot and should not, I mean you could, but you should not do this for all of your sites. Like, I'll do this for literally maybe 5% of all of my PBNs just because I don't want it to be so many of them, because I want to minimize any footprint at all. So like if all of my sites had Cloudflare on them and they're all pointing to the same money site, that looks really weird. That is a footprint to Google. But if I have, like, 100 PBNs and just 2 or 3 on each different money site, that doesn't look as odd. Does everyone understand that so far? Give me a 1 if you do.
Hey, Gregory, we lost you there. I think the cops got you. I heard the cops.
No, I heard the police coming. I wasn't sure if it was Google, so I was just getting my computer ready to.
You weren't sure if they were coming to your door or not, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had everything set up to just blow up the computers on its own, so I'm good. Looks like they got the guy next door, not me.
Good.
All right. All right. It's a good thing I was using a VPS. So pretty much they're going to give you new name servers, right? So you're going to get these brand new name servers. And let me pull in one of the charts I had made for a different course just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Cool. All right. Joe, is this big enough for you guys to see? I don't know how it looks on your guys' screen. Is this large enough for everyone?
Yeah, it looks fine for me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks fine.
So like I said, you have yourself a shared host like Bluehost. You have your PBNs, and they're all pointing to your different money sites, right? So with Cloudflare, what happens is your shared hosts, if you had 2 shared hosts, right? Like let's say I had all of my PBNs on Bluehost and a different Bluehost account, but all of them had money sites. They're all going to be ns1.bluehost.com and ns2.bluehost.com. They might have different IPs, but they all have the same name servers. And I really don't want this. It's not wrong, but it's not something I want. But if I implement Cloudflare, this is what happens, right? So now I have a brand new IP, my name servers. These are some of the Cloudflare name servers they gave me during this live example I did before. And you'll see now I instantly went from having the same name servers of Bluehost to having the Cloudflare ones and a brand new IP. So these same sites were hosted on the exact same host they were before, but now they look completely different in Google's eyes, okay? Is everyone with me so far? If you understand what I'm saying, just give me a 1. If you're confused, give me a 2. I just want to make sure everyone gets it. Like I said, it's really quick. It's nothing too in-depth. I mean, if David and company want me to make a video on this, I will. But let me see. Okay, cool. Looks like everyone got it except like maybe 2 people. The 2 people who didn't get it, I can actually touch base with you guys later on because I don't want to hold up everyone else. But pretty much, yeah, use Cloudflare. It's completely free. The only thing to keep in mind, though, is when you do get to the next screen inside of here, and let me see if it works if I put in like a fake website. Right, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not going to work on a fake website in your real one, but pretty much the next screen it takes you to, it's going to show you your A records and everything else. You want to remove, there is one footprint that could be left, and you want to remove it, so if you want to notate this, just keep the ones that show your domain name.com and the one that says www. All the other ones you should delete. So there'll be one that says mail. There'll be another one that has an asterisk on it. Those 2 you want to delete because that's going to leave a footprint showing what your original host was in the first place. So other than that, you're going to have brand new name servers and everything else for those PBNs, and you'll be a little bit more under the radar in Google's eyes.
I mean, do you want to try it to put a domain in there that's real?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I don't know. That 2002cn.com.
Oh yeah.
I don't
that's
know
actually...
if it's hooked up to any hosting right now though. No, it's 2002cn.com.
Oh crap. Okay, well, looks like it's scanning someone's website right now. Oh yeah, and by the way, you cannot skip this time. For some reason, it takes the minute for it to scan it. It's really them just wanting to have you watch their video. But another 36 seconds. Whatever site I put in, it's going to scan something, so we'll see. Looks like I put in a Chinese website.
Oh, is that what it is? Maybe.
Yeah, I put 2002.cn.
So it's probably a real site, for sure.
Yeah. And of course, this isn't going to affect this person's site because they're not in their registrar, or I'm not in their registrar, rather, changing their name servers. So it won't affect them either way. But this is just for to show you guys how to do it. All right, let's see. Continue. So right now what it should have done was pulled up what their name servers and stuff was. And we'll see if it loads it up.
Nothing like doing it live.
Yeah, I know. Fun times, right? All right, cool. CNN, Cloudflare system, or not resolve. Oh yeah, because it couldn't actually find it. All right, let me, you know what? I will pull up a live site for you right now. Hold on, 1 second. Just jumping into some practice sites that I use when I do the Network Crusader videos, so I should be good to just use one of those. So hold on 1 second.
Beth, yes, this is going to be recorded. Let's answer some questions while you do that. So can you use the same PBN? Yeah, are you using Cloudflare to mask hosting? Yes. Is it the money site that Cloudflare and not the
You can use Cloudflare on anything you want, but it's recommended to use it on PBNs. I mean, don't get me wrong. You should use it also on some of your money sites, like if they're authoritative to prevent like hackers and stuff. But if you're trying to use it just for the technique I'm showing you, it's meant more for just PBNs.
And 2 is if you do use Cloudflare on your money site, it's a good way to speed your site up too.
Yeah, because you're going to have that CDN like I spoke about, the content delivery network. So yeah, it will make it faster.
And then someone asked, can you just use Cloudflare and point multiple PBNs from the same hosting to your money site using Cloudflare?
That's kind of what I was saying before. It's not something you want to do a lot of, because the same way you don't want a whole bunch of the same sites that are on the same host pointing to a money site. No, this just helps you diversify it, because when you set up Cloudflare, you will get sometimes, like if I set up 5 of these in a row, I might get 5 different name servers, which is great. But I might get like 2 of the same and 3 of the same. It happens sometimes. So as you can see, this is one of my test sites, right? So like I was saying, once you put it in, it's going to tell you this, okay? This is the current IP that it's on right now, which is accurate. I'm looking at it on my other screen. Now, what I was saying before is you only want to keep the ones that have your domain name on it, right? So, for example, the one right here that says agileregistration.org, and the one that has my domain name there, and the one that has www, those are the ones that I want to keep, okay? And the reason why you want to keep them is because it actually needs to communicate with the site in the first place. What I do want to remove is the asterisk, okay? So this one I don't need. So you just click here. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? And yeah, you can go ahead and delete it, all right? So if you click on continue, it should give you the option to choose a plan. So I want free, okay? I'm going to go ahead and continue. And now, as you see, it's giving me new name servers. So these are my old ones, and now it's giving me new ones. And as you can see, these name servers are even different than the other ones I had when I did a live case study example for other people. It gave me Micah.ns and Olga.ns at Cloudflare. This one in particular is giving me Rick and Tia. So you're getting different ones, okay? You're getting different name servers pointing to it, and all you do is just change it in your registrar, whether it's GoDaddy or Namecheap or anything like that. And that's pretty much it, Joe. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's a great way to help, diversify and mass stuff. So.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So, and guys, remember, you just mix it in the bag, right? Because you still have Cloudflare.com at the end. So, don't be, you just got to be smart with this. That's all. It's just another way to diversify what you have. All right, so Daniel says he's got it, no problem.
Awesome.
And Corey says, what about the hosting? Well, Corey, the hosting, it doesn't matter. You're masking the hosting with Cloudflare. So, if you do what Gregory says, you're still hosted on your host, like HostGator. You're just it's just running through think of Cloudflare, right, as like the middleman, right? It's like a buffer or something.
Yeah, exactly. So as a matter of fact, even that's a good way to say it, Joe. So even if I went ahead, and I probably should have done this when I was teaching other people this, but if you move this here, oh, actually no, that's right. So originally this was my host right here, the blue host, right? So it's being filtered into Cloudflare now. So it's still hosted on here, but now this is Cloudflare. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, got it. Corey says he's got it. George says, cool. Sweet, Gregory. Virginia says, thanks. Dave says, yep, I got it. Got it.
Good. Glad everyone got it.
Everybody loves it. All right, fantastic. All right, good. Well, man, we're at 2 hours already. Holy, it flew,
Time flies
man.
when you're having fun.
It does, man. Time flies when you're fishing for black marlin.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, listen, guys. So just let me know if you guys have any last-minute questions or anything that I talked about or Gregory talked about. Just put in real quick, and then let me know. Do you generally trust VAs to use your PayPal account to pay for hosting?
You can create secondary accounts too.
Yeah, you could create secondary PayPal accounts. I have a secondary account that I fund that I let one of my outsourcers use, but that outsourcer has been with me for years. I generally would not give that out. Gray, you just create another account, right? Or is there a way? There's no way to have users or stuff with PayPal.
No, you can actually. If you call, but the only way to do it that I know of is to call PayPal and say you need like a secondary account on it. And what happens is it's kind of like a sub account. So you can filter money from your main account to the sub account, and someone else can have access to the sub account. So the only money it has access to is whatever you allow it to have.
All right. Yeah. And two, guys, it's all in stages. It's not like you're going to go out and you have built one PBN and now you're going to hire a VA that's going to purchase your hosting and this and that. I mean, it may be that for the first few times you pay for your hosting, then you put the details in a spreadsheet and you give it to the VA. So it just depends on your business, how big it is and how you're going to scale. So, all right. Okay, Justin says he just bought a cityniche.com, and in the Moz toolbar it says he has a spam score of 10, but it shows no links. So, I don't know. I mean, if it shows no links, I don't know why it would have a spam score of 10.
Yeah, it sounds like the spam score must be going by whatever was there right before it got deleted. But I personally don't pay much attention to the spam score. Do you, Joe?
No, I look at the links. I mean, if you're really worried about it, you do a link detox, or sign up for Google, put on Google Webmaster if it's going to be your money site, and see what kind of links it comes up in there. And then if you see some bad links, just detox them.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't pay much attention to the spam score because Moz has like the smallest index anyway. It's only getting like a third of all the links you have to begin with. So it's kind of hard to get an overall view just from that alone.
Yeah. And then Ryan says, have you ever had trouble ranking a Yelp site because someone else is dominating and Google only seems to let one in there? Yeah, I mean, I rank with Yelp all the time. I mean, that is when I go into a city, I build a Yelp site and I rank it. So if someone else there, you can overtake them. Sometimes you'll have 2 Yelps on the front page. I've seen that before. So, hey Gregory, Darren wants to know how your hoverboard's coming along.
I actually haven't gotten it yet. I just traded someone a list of 100 PBNs that they can register themselves, and they're gonna get me a hoverboard.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm serious. One of the guys, he actually knows one of the owners of one of the bigger hoverboard companies. So I guess they're friends. So he touched base with him already. So it's on the way to me. Should be here in like the next month or 2.
Well, with those hoverboards, you can only don't you need a special track? Like you just can't go on a sidewalk with that. You need a track.
No, you can go on the sidewalk. I see people outside with them all the time over here.
What? Then what's the magnetic? Doesn't it have to have a strip inside the compass?
No magnetic, no nothing. No, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy, man. That is crazy. All right, so let's see.
Joe, the next time you visit me in the city, you're gonna see me pull up in a hoverboard.
That's gonna be sweet, man. All right, dude. I'd say let me try it out, but I'll probably break my leg. Let's see this. Is the Tumbly DNS method similar to Cloudflare? I think he's saying is the Tumblr DNS method. I don't know the Tumblr DNS method.
I don't use Tumblrs, so I don't know.
I don't know what that method is.
Yeah.
Okay. Like if you had domains on all one site, is it a footprint if you sent them all up with Cloudflare and sent PBNs to those on the same host?
Yeah, I said that earlier. I said don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. I mean, does that make sense, right? Like if it kind of looks like it doesn't make sense, then don't do it. Like if every one of your name servers is .cloudflare, it just you got to look at it like that. So all right. It's just another way to diversify. There's no shortcuts. Okay, so what is when will the replay be ready? I don't know. I don't know. Whenever David puts it up, maybe a couple days. May we have your PBN mind map as a download?
It's on that site, isn't it? Where they can register. Something similar is in there, right?
Yeah. Here's what I'll do is I'll put it in the site. Okay. So register that site, and I'll put it in the site. I'll put some links in there. I'll put some other stuff in there. So register it. I'll even show my article builder trick, and I'll put all that stuff in that site. So you guys register the site, and then I'll put this PBN because I have to download it, and I got to make sure none of my personal stuff's on it, and then I'll download. But remember this: I'm gonna say it once, and I'll say it every time. This is a sample. Don't take that mind map and then say, okay, this is what I'm. It's a sample and it's an example, a template for you to use. You work it out. You can use it as a guide, but work out your own stuff, okay, in your own mind so that you can build your business. The point of all this is that you build your own sustainable business. Okay. All right. So I think that's about it.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like there's just a lot of people thanking you.
All right. So, all right. This is a question came up a couple of times. When you say VPS, do you mean VPS hosting? If so, do you use VPS hosting? I don't know what. Do you use VPS hosting for your money site? VPS is a virtual private server, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I've never heard of a VPS like host. I don't know. Maybe there is. I'm just not that technical.
Hey, Arthur wants to know, what about the info on Amazon affiliate marketing? I think, Gregory, you got that info on Amazon?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Arthur wants to
The
know.
info on Amazon affiliate marketing.
Yeah, I think that's you're on the wrong webinar. You got to go on Liz's webinar for Amazon. I'm not I don't. Hey, look, not that there's anything wrong with it, right? I just don't do Amazon, so it's not my field of expertise. So Arthur's laughing. So, all right, guys, that's it, man. So hey, I want to give Gregory a big thank you. So let's give him a big thank you in the Facebook. Let's say thanks, Gregory. Thanks,
And just so everyone knows, when I do get my hoverboard, I am going to get Joe to go on it, and I'm going to record it, just so you all know. We'll upload it.
That's going to be fun. I mean, I might have to get one of those for my son, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out for sure. I'm thinking of buying one of those. What's those things you stand up on and you ball?
What you're talking about is the same thing everyone refers to as the hoverboard. It's like the same thing. It's not like a hoverboard from Back to the Future. I wish. No, it's the one thing that you stand on that moves, and it's like a self-balancing hoverboard. I think it's called.
Oh, it's not a hoverboard. Are you talking about the same thing that Paul Blart, the mall cop, uses?
No, not that.
The Segway.
No, that's a Segway. No.
That's what I want to get. I want to get a Segway, man. So.
Joe, if you start riding around the city in a Segway, I'm okay.
Dude, I'm gonna roll that thing right up on the train. I'm gonna roll that thing right up on the train in Long Island, and I'm gonna take that thing and I'm gonna roll right out into the city and roll right around, man.
There's much stranger things that happen every day in the subway. So, okay.
Ooh, man. All right. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, I think that's it. So. Okay, guys. Well, hey, have a good night tonight, and I got a surprise for you guys next week. I think I think Floyd's coming on finally on the hot seat. So, Stephen Floyd will be on with us. So, we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.